Harry's Farm video, and the last time you joined us we were in this field and we'd come to a grinding stop because there was a lot of green grain in the wheat we're trying to combine out here, and I said, oh, I'll leave it a week and come back to it. Since then, that was, I'm trying to think when it was, about 3 days ago, instead of getting the promised storms, it was going to start raining the next day. It didn't rain, the temperature soared into the 30s. Did it again yesterday as well, still no rain, and we just thought, well, you know what, it's so hot, let's go and have another look at this wheat. So we stuck the combine into here last night, 6 o'clock-ish, and it would combine. It had dried that much in that sort of extreme heat that the green grains that were there were just absorbed by the super dry grain around it that was super ripe. So that's what happened last night, and we carried on combining right into night. I think Charlie finished like 1:30 this morning, and we were combining out here, and you could see the storms flashing all around us. Amazing lightning shows, but not a drop of rain, and we just pressed on and managed to finish this field. It's about 45 acres out here last night. The only trouble we've got this year is it's so short, the wheat, and obviously the yield isn't there. I think it's the right side of 2 tons to the acre, which is shockingly bad. Last year we averaged about 3.3, 3.4 tons to the acre, so that's really bad for a wheat crop. But being so short, the risk we're doing is, it's stony ground this, and Charlie is just eagle-eyed for any stones that suddenly drop onto the header, and unfortunately picked one up last night, and so just at the moment he's just in the middle of changing one of the fingers. If I give you a closer look, basically you've got, a quick lesson on the combine. You've got this cutter bar, this is obviously going into the wheat here, a vicious knife oscillating there. Then this is known as the auger, this is spinning away. These fingers come out on a gear here. There's a cover normally there to feed it up into the combine there. You can sort of see where it all goes up, all the straw and heads and stuff, and you see how the fingers are retracted there, and as they come round to here and go down to there, they come fully out, and then that brings the wheat up there towards that elevator and up into the belly of the combine to be sorted, the grain and the straw and chaff all sorted out. So just before we get going, we're just changing one of the fingers. So that's basically what it looks like. I won't prod it up, but basically that's the bit that's going in and out. This bit is fixed onto this in there like that, and because that's on a crank, that isn't in the middle, and that's how it extracts and goes up and down, etc. And they have a weak point there. You can just see that groove there. So if they hit a resistance like a stone, so a stone was here, bang, hits the stone, it will snap off there without doing any damage. Doesn't bend, doesn't sort of wreck this or anything like that, and you have to replace the finger. So that's what we're going to do now, and then we can get going. Because today they really are promising storms. They're saying within some time tonight we're going to get storms. We've only now got, over there you'll just see, about 30 acres of wheat to finish, and that's all we've got to go, and then the harvest is done. And today's date is the 12th of August, and 2 years ago we hit a record date for finish of harvest of the 11th of August, so we're almost close to the record early finish. That's what all this sunshine has done. And also I have to say, no volume in the crop. That means you combine quicker as well, so I reckon 30 acres we should be done in 4 hours, I hope. No more breakdowns, no storms, go away any clouds, and harvest for 2020 will be over. That's the hope. Anyway, just get this fixed and then we'll get going. The thing you don't realise about the combine is that engine, we're just going to have to go warm it up first, because the engine goes at maximum revs all the time, all day. When it's in work, that thing's turning maximum revs, and that's just how a combine works. That's why they have to make that such a distinctive sound. The throttle never really varies. and you're trying to keep it loaded. The combine works best when it's got like 80% through engine power being used, so it likes, don't know why, it just thrashes out better when it's got more volume going through it. So it's just this balancing act when you're driving them, and that's why it's sort of addictive, and the hours just slip away as you're spinning all these plates, trying to get it fed, what speed you go, what you have the sieves at, how you have the rotor, the clearance on the concave, all sorts of things you're balancing with a crop you're being presented with as you motor along. But first of all, he's just going to be sitting there for about 5 minutes or so while the engine gets up to temperature. Okay, well, Charlie's gone in. This is termed sort of opening the field up. So he'll go round 3 times round the perimeter of this field, open it up, and then he'll cut lands out, up and down, in blocks, is how basically you attack a field like this. This is slightly strange. We have these 6-metre margins at the edge of each field. He's left a little bit of growth there just because I didn't mow it right up to the crop, so I need to go round with a topper and sort of tidy it all up. I so want this crop out of the way. This is the crop that went in February, and this field really droughted out. If you look this way, there's hardly any population here. So thin. Here are those green ears. We'll just wait forever for that to ripen. It's just pointless waiting for it to ripen. What I've tried to do, because it's so hot, it's about 32 degrees at the moment, so hot that all these grains are so ripe that they're below 12%. So the average, if I put it in the heap, put the fans on, which is my next job, it's all going to even out and it'll all be under the required moisture. So it's just suddenly it's a breeze getting up. But yeah, you can see all the dust flying from it. It's an amazing sight when it's in full flow, a combine, just the amount it's dealing with. Not only is it cutting all that bulk, but it's also sending it out the back. It's almost as much grain as straw, the ratio. So there's about 2.5 tons of straw coming out the back, being chopped by those razor blades whirling round at ridiculous RPM and just decimating it, so that basically all the straw just disappears into this sort of dust. And then I just come along with the cultivator and it's all back in the ground, and the worms chomp it away and turn it in magically into some organic matter, into soil. Anyway, my job now is on the grain trailer, so when he's done another lap I'll be on that and we'll just do a moisture test of the first tank. Right, well, this is the grotty end of the grain shed, and this is the wheat pile in here. It's about 300 tons in here, and I have these fans working in here. They're sucking air out of the heap and basically trying to chill the grain, but aerate it really. When you first put it in, you just have the fans going and it just gets the air moving, so no hot spots sort of develop. If I take the camera, I'll take you over to this one I'm just about to set going, and you can see how it all works. Oh, it's really what I need to be. It's about 36, 38 degrees in here at the moment. So here's a pedestal fan. Picking that up, let's have a look at it. There we go. And be it 38 in here. Pedestal number 1. It's measured from 462 hours. Automatic. Right, I'm actually going to put it onto continuous. So there we are, continuous. This fan will start up now. Yeah, I just feel it starting up now. Be it 38, so the pedestal's saying it's 32. If this gets going, you see the heat it's taking out the actual grain itself. That's interesting. So the grain is actually cooler than it is in here, but it's still a good idea just to have the fan going, just to circulate the air. So you can see how rough this ground is. This is again where it all flooded out. Not a pretty crop. To say, every farmer I know is desperately trying to get this harvest over and done with, clear up, so the evidence disappears of the 2020 wheat harvest. Well, every other harvest, every other crop really. So yeah, what I'm doing here is just trying to balance the speed of this to the combine. It's racing along at 7 kilometres an hour at the moment. I've got to keep the distance right and catch it in the trailer. Has what we might term a high prac factor, this occupation, because the last thing you want is that auger or that wheat ending up on the ground, because that makes a complete waste of time, the whole harvest. We'll just go to the tricky bit here. Is he going to turn it off? Yes, he's going to turn it off. So we've got to a corner. Down here. Not a lot in there. Right, now I'm going to measure that and see what it records. First test of the day. I mean that does sound dry. Let's have a look. So we've got so little to do now, and I've got so much dry wheat, I'm almost, don't mind, yeah, 15.5, so quite a lot damper than it was last night. It will get drier as this heat continues. I hope it gets lower than 15.5, but that's the first test of the day. And I say another 3 hours it should be drier still. So we can press on at that moisture, maybe finish. I thought we were just combining wheat today and I was loading a linseed lorry tomorrow, but I just had a call about 20 minutes ago, so is it possible to load the lorry tonight? So he's rocked up and I'm just loading him. I'm always trying to be as nice as I can to lorry drivers and haulage companies, because you rely on them so for getting, you know, when the shed gets full you want it gone as quickly as possible, and also you get paid. I get paid 28 days after the lorry has left the farm, so I'm quite keen to load a lorry so then I get paid in 28 days. Anyway, I better crack on. It's bucket number 4, and it will take, it's about 2 tons this bucket takes. And at £360 a tonne, I'm thinking, oh, that's £720 per bucket, and I don't want to spill any. So and because linseed is like almost water, it behaves very oddly and it sort of doesn't heap up. So I try and get it flush and give a little shake on the bucket when it's in the shed, and then approach the lorry as slowly as I can, and then I start tipping slowly so it doesn't sort of wash out. So it's a little bit of a technique when you're handling linseed, slightly different. He's waiting, so I'll go and do this load. Well, I've just loaded that load of linseed. Had to do it, doesn't slow up the combine. Who has stopped, so I don't want to see Charlie getting out the combine. because there is my app which is live radar and tells me what storms are coming in. If you look at that crop of storms there, that's got our name on it, unfortunately. And according to this, it's going to start raining at 10 to 6. That's in half an hour's time. That's the last field. That's 3.5 hectares of wheat in there, and he's combining around 4.5–5 hectares an hour. That's perilously close to not be able to finish, especially when he's out the cab and he's working on something. Oh, I hate to think what he might have picked up another stone. I suspect that's what's going on. I don't know, but yeah, I'll go and tip this and go and see how he's getting on. You might notice it's quite grey over there, and some lightning, yes. And according to my weather app, it's 22 minutes away. So, how long are you going to be in that field? More than 22 minutes. Yeah, there you go. Well, we'll see if the luck's with us. I'll go and tip this and I'll come out. Oh well, it's just about doable, and yeah, we'll just see how heavy it is when it comes. But yeah, we've got a chance, I thought. I think we've got a chance. See you in a bit. Yeah, bye. Why is it always like this, combining? I think you got all the time in the world, and then no. Well, it's obvious that the storm is now hitting. I can feel spots in the air. He's charging on, finding another gear in the combine. It's just weird, this storm coming in, all the trees blowing. We're going to try and actually hide the combine as well as soon as it starts to rain, so we'll go and get the header trailer as well. But his glass, it's almost got a full tank of grain as well. Hope you can hear because of the wind, but you will understand we're just going to carry on recording whatever happens. Yeah, first proper rain spots are arriving on the bonnet now. You can see he's got a full tank, so I'm pleased to see he's got a full tank from a few times around this little field. He's cutting our land out, so I can't empty him, but when he goes up the other way, we'll empty that and just see if we can finish. What's he got left? Probably a hectare and a half, so yeah, 3 acres, hectare and a half, that's 10 minutes probably to finish that off. Right, he's going to back. There we go. So what a shiny combine. It hasn't seen rain at all this year, really. We're certainly going to see some rain in a minute. Right, I'm going to speed up. Get under here. I don't know if I can keep up with the combine when it's going at this speed. I have to slow it down there. Sorry, it's a bit wonky on the camera. I probably understand why I put the speed on. The fields are so rough this year. These ones that droughted out. This was a lake in February, March time. I'm just amazed we've got any crop at all, and it's really thanks to those June rains, it actually brought this field back to life. But my goodness, the soil has really suffered with this amount of rain. You can see the wind actually blowing the grain, isn't it? You can see how it's not actually hitting the trailer because of the amount of wind. Look at it. I've never seen that before. Where do I drive? Look at how strong the gust is. That's mad. A bit near the back of the trailer. Well, I've never seen the wind that strong that it's actually blowing the grain as it's trying to hit the trailer. Yeah, you're doing about 8 kilometres an hour at the moment. That is crazy. Right, I should turn that off, Charlie, because there's not a lot of grain going in the trailer. Mad. Right, I'll let him get on. Yeah, I forgot about the wind with a storm, but I suppose that's what happens. Oh, I'm in the way. He's not that fussed if he leaves a few soldiers. That's what you term it, if you leave a little stripe of wheat or something. You miss the header with. But we're not too bothered about neatness when we've got that lot coming down on us any minute. Rain will start in 4 minutes, it's saying. There it is. And it's a proper, I don't want an ad now. Way. There it is. Look at that. And then that lot hits us. So yeah, 18:25, proper wet. Yeah, so that's, you know, that feels pretty wet out there now actually. Fastest combine in Oxfordshire. There you go. Right, I'm going to dash off and get the header trailer from over there with the Manitou, because we want to put everything under cover as soon as he's finished this field, if he finishes this field. So I'm going to disappear and be back in a few minutes. I can confirm it's raining. Raining quite hard actually. And we haven't finished. And we've probably got about 1.5 acres left to combine. Ah, dear me. So we only needed, let's just turn all this off. We only needed another 10 minutes. But that's farming in the UK for you. So what we're going to do now, take the header off and go and tuck the combine under cover and wait for it to stop raining. In a few days' time, it'll take a few days to dry out now, but I'm pretty chuffed actually, because we've got a lot of dry grain in there, a lot of good quality grain, and that's the main thing. And we're only missing about 1.5 acres, so that's probably 2 or 3 tons, and then we're finished. So I would say that was a pretty good result. Right, I'm going to give Charlie a hand taking the header off the combine and packing everything else up. So there we go, harvest 2020 is over, bar a little one annoying 1.5 acres sitting over there. We can live with that. It's glad to get good riddance is all I can say to the 2020 harvest. There was no yield, no nothing, and it ends like this. Roll on 2021. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, well, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming along very soon.